Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares. Welcome to another edition of What's in the Bag, Jay? This is where I take 6 movies from my collection that I haven't seen, write their names on a piece of paper, throw them in the bag, draw one at random, and do a short review. After that, I take my trusty Freddy vs. Jason die and give it a roll. And the number that's on the die is the amount of movies that I draw out of the bag again to see what comes back next week. Now, returning from last week are Never Cry Werewolf, Stripperland, Creeper, The Last Lovecraft, Relic of Cthulhu, Antidote, and making its debut, The Endless. Now, I'm going to take these pieces of paper, throw them in the bag, while I tell you guys that if one of the ones doesn't get picked that you want to see me review, definitely vote on it, and I will consider bringing it back. Let me give the bag a good tussle. And reach my hand inside the bag, if I can find any. This week's pick is Creeper. Now I set that aside and put all the movies, of course, side by side, by side, by side. And now I'm going to roll my Freddy vs. Jason die to see what comes back. But this week, we're going to do something a little different. I have a cup here. I'm going to put the die in a cup. Two. Well, that's different. Only 2 are getting picked to come back next week. Let's see. Let's give the bag another good tussle. And the 2 that are being picked. Number 1 is Stripperland. Number 2 is Never Cry Werewolf. So the rest of these go bye-byes. These 2 will be returning next week with 4 brand new movies, and I'm going to be doing a review on Creeper later. Well, I'm back. I just watched Creeper, and here are my thoughts. But before I get into that, I just wanted to thank Brad, one of my very best friends on YouTube, Bronco Juggalo, for sending me this to review for you guys. I'm going to put his links in the description box below. Now, Creeper is a 2012 film, which runs approximately 94 minutes, and is written and directed by Matthew Gunnoe, or Gunnoe. Not really sure how to pronounce his last name. Now, this stars Daryl Baldwin as Jerry Tobin, or the Creeper. Rotnya Morrow as Kelly Frost. Very appropriate name for her. Monica Chambers as Erica Spaulding. And David Vogel as Dr. Wilson. Now, this has a very simple premise. In the beginning of the film, you find 2 or 3 attractive women in a hot tub discussing how men are dogs and all they want is certain things from them, and how they're always hitting on them. They basically think a lot of themselves and think that they are better than the guys who basically hit on them. Now they decide to pick on what appears to be a mentally handicapped man who is Jerry Tobin. Now, when I say what appears to be a mentally handicapped man, he is like an army vet, and he has a multitude of problems coming back from the war, to where a doctor, Dr. Wilson, prescribes him antipsychotic drugs, which basically makes him very, very childlike. Now, these girls are on the web saying that they'll do stuff for him if he basically does sexual things. It's very humiliating, and to be honest with you, it's kind of hard to watch. You basically hate these women for what they're doing to this guy. Let me tell you something, they play the part very well, because towards the end of the film, where he gets his revenge, I'm basically wanting every single one of them to die in a very horrific way. Like I said, it's kind of hard to watch. To me, it's almost like a rape scene. I don't really care for them in movies, and it's hard to watch. The same with this. It's just, it's very uncomfortable. So what happens is they think they kill the guy. Why they wanted to actually go through all the trouble to kill him, I'm not really sure. Other than them being just complete pieces of crap for people. He ends up disappearing and goes off his antipsychotic drugs and decides to basically get back on the women. And I kind of leave it there. There is definitely more to the story, but that's it in a nutshell. Now, pros and cons. I did enjoy this film. You tend to root for the killer a little bit more, which is kind of the way we are as horror fans anyway. I mean, we kind of root Jason on, and Michael Myers and Freddy, which is fine. The girls play their part really, really well. So I will say that some of the acting is kind of, it is a low budget film, and the acting is a little wonky in spots, but they do play their part very well, and so does he. Now I'm going to give you some interesting things about the film. Daryl Baldwin is a trained stuntman and played the German mechanic for the Indiana Jones stunt show. I thought that was pretty cool. He was also a professional wrestler at one time. He's a big dude, very big dude. Now, Jerry Tobin, who is the Creeper, doesn't have a single line in the movie, and this is basically paying homage to Freddy and Jason. I mean, not Freddy, Michael Myers and Jason. Where the killer doesn't really say anything. So, and I think it works in this one. I can see it being a little awkward in some spots, but this is a good film. I enjoyed it. This is Unearthed, and thank you again, Brad, for sending this to me. And don't forget to vote for whatever didn't make it back, and I'll definitely take it under consideration. And if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.